What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we had some crazy earnings happen after hours, which pretty much tanked a lot of tech. So Facebook reported earnings, they dumped a ton. I actually did pick up one a share in this small account, so $2.49 is the average cost. This is a stock that I will look to scale into, as I think this is overblown. And if you guys remember last year, when they had some brands threatening to pull their ads, Facebook actually tanked to about 230, 240. And it recovered quickly and it was fine. So this is one, I'm going to let the dust settle over the next 3 days or so and let things kind of settle down. But I think Facebook is now in my buy zone, and I will look to slowly accumulate shares and maybe even leaps. But we are going to get into SoFi today and talk about the overall market. PayPal also was another loser on earnings, and that kind of dropped fintech quite a bit. So you see Square down a lot, you see SoFi down a bit, and then Facebook really brought everything down after hours. So we'll see how things bounce back tomorrow, but let's talk about SoFi and the recent news. All right, so this came out this morning. SoFi completes acquisition of Golden Pacific Bank Corp, and this is what we've been waiting for. SoFi is officially a bank. Now the stock price is not representing this news in the bank charter. Obviously had a rough day. The overall market did pull back, and then after hours, Facebook pretty much hurt SoFi as well, and the overall market. But with this acquisition, SoFi will be able to offer more features to their members, user-friendly interface, automated savings, differentiated checking and savings accounts for easy budgeting, and a annual percentage yield of up to 1% for members, providing 33 times the national average interest on balances. This is just overall going to be bullish for the stock and the upcoming earnings. So my plan going forward with SoFi is to just slowly accumulate on these sell-offs. I can't believe that SoFi is at a lower price than before the bank charter. That could either be because of the overall market pulling back, growth stocks pulling back, fintech kind of tanking a bit, or just the anticipation is running out for SoFi, and the catalyst is being sold or sell the news. So I still think it's a great company, and I think they're going to crush earnings. So I am just going to slowly add SoFi here and potentially start selling covered calls on bounces, because I don't think SoFi is going to do much in the short term. I think earnings and more acquisitions and news that comes out will eventually pick SoFi back up, especially when smaller cap growth stocks bounce back. So I'm looking to start selling covered calls against my shares and buy on weakness for SoFi, as well as scale into some 2023 leap calls, because that gives you plenty of time. And if you're buying on these huge dips, even just a small bounce will get your calls bouncing back again. And you could also sell calls against your leaps. So, even looking at something like the $15 strike for 2023, only $300. And if you can't afford 100 shares of SoFi, in order to sell calls, you could buy maybe even the $10, $12, or $15 leap, and then sell out of the money weeklies, short-term expiration, to be able to make some money that way. All right, a couple tweets to go over here. And SoFi does report earnings on March 1st so far is what we have. And it says SoFi raised Q4 guidance, Hood lowered Q1 guidance. Just a tweet I wanted to go over. I am bullish for their earnings, especially where they're currently sitting at. It just feels like they have a lot of upside. And then we also have this tweet right here, that whales are starting to buy into SoFi, and that was February 2nd, this morning. So just some large orders coming in on SoFi. Now we're going to look into some of the algo flow, call option flow, and the chart. And then looking at the one-day flow for SoFi, this was, right at the close here, 64% bearish, 36% bullish. And then the algo flow, if we click here, you can see that when SoFi does dip around $11 or less, algos really start to buy this name. And then on the pump, if SoFi is around 13 plus, then you see it kind of drop off the cliff right there. So, they're not buying at these prices, but I like checking this when SoFi drops around 11 or 10. It's obviously a good buy zone with the median price target being around 20 plus. The upside is definitely there for SoFi. So I did want to look at the open interest on SoFi options here. So we'll just type in OI SoFi. And there's a lot of interest for March. Earnings are coming up. And then the 2023 January leaps have a lot of open interest as well. That's what I would be buying. So definitely going to be looking to scale into those. They're pretty relatively cheap and just some news and a bounce back in the small caps and growth. And I think those will pay very well. At the SOFI weekly chart, just to wrap up the video, there's not much to say here though. SOFI did break out of this falling wedge. We saw it head up to about 1354 on the entire market pumping. And basically today it's fallen back down. And currently after hours, it's 1172. So that's kind of right on the retest of the breakout. We'll see if we break down tomorrow. You know, the market, especially with Facebook and things dumping after hours, probably going to be a red day, bearish day. We'll see if we get a bounce and people buying the dip, but it doesn't feel likely at the moment. So we're just going to take it day by day. But you know, if SOFI does fall back down into this range, I will be scaling in more. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and have a good one.